Hi, I'm Kira Kayusu. This is my coming out story. Thank you so much for allowing me to be a part of this. I feel very grateful. I'm happy for any or all of this to be used, cut and pasted. My story begins when I was really young, actually. I can remember being a child of about 5 or 6, and I had these amazing baggy, flowy pants. They looked like karate pants. And as children, a lot of us look quite bodily the same from the waist up, right? We have quite flat chested, and I was a really tiny kid. I had abs, and I was really thin, and I had these baggy pants, and I had this bandana on like the Karate Kid. And I turned to my mum and I said, when I grow up, I want to be a boy. And she was so harsh in her tone of voice. She turned to me and she said, don't be stupid. You can never be a boy. You're a girl. And that has always stuck with me. It's always been so cutting. I feel like supportive parents nurture their kids no matter what. Sure, if you want to be a boy today, let's try being a boy and see how you like it. But there was none of that in my family. It was very misogynistic, very patriarchal, and lots of generational trauma. My grandparents, they stayed together despite hating each other, and they would bring in this anger every time we would have family events, and they would bicker at each other and call each other names. But the one thing I always picked up on from them was that the woman does everything for the man, and it was very male versus female orientation. There was no outside of this. There was no talk about lesbianism or gay or free to love whoever you wanted to. And the only time they did talk about these times was when it was in a derogatory form. I developed so much internalized homophobia because they were so belittling in the way they talked about gays. And I, of course, was taught as a child to listen to my parents, and as you do, we don't know much better from a very young age, which to me is so heartbreaking. And as I started to get older, when I got to about 15, it started to get really dark to me because I didn't understand a lot about my body and what was happening and the changes. There wasn't a lot of talk in the family about growing into becoming a woman, or what puberty was, or what my options were, or, you know, who I wanted to be, or how could they nurture me and help me flourish. And so I started self-harming quite severely. I knew that I liked women, but I was told that I had to like men. There was a lot of pressure from my family. Anytime I spoke of a male in my life, my sisters would and so is he your boyfriend now? Ooh, straight away onto it, you know, pestering me about relationships and this and that. And it was always men. You know, so who are you dating now? Or what's happening now? What's the goss? What's this? What's that? It's like so much pressure. There was no talk about safe sex or, you know, how to use protection and all of these things. I had to figure it out for myself. I had to go to my sister behind my mother's back and get contraception. It was really, really tough. It was really tough. And then on the other side, there was no talk about, well, what if I like women? What if I like other people? What if I don't want to be with a man? And if I had a friend who was a female around, they never questioned it. They never thought, oh, are you interested in women? Would you like to discuss this? There was no support in this area, and my mind and my body was really struggling, and I started self-harming, and I started to feel really, really insecure and really unstable and really alone. I felt really alone. I didn't know who to talk to about it. I didn't know what to feel. I felt like there was something wrong with me. And the men that I associated with were men that really emulated the men that had been in my family's life. You know, they were very toxic, very unpleasant, very sick. You know, I got into a lot of unhealthy relationships, just like my mother did, just like my grandmother did, just like my siblings did. And, you know, I would say to them sometimes that I have feelings for women, and they would really turn it around to sexualize it and make me feel really gross about it, that I would have to perform, make it into an act about, you know, lesbians doing shows and putting it on for men's satisfaction rather than a beautiful act of love that comes from the heart. It makes me so sad that all of it, the feelings that we're taught to internalize from a really young age, and the lack of support that we're given is really dangerous for our mental well-being. I've really had to do a lot of healing in my life, a lot of soul searching, and you know, I don't really like labels. I don't think that they're very necessary to me. I just want to be free. I don't want to be in cages. My family was very abusive. I think the closest term for what I feel my sexual identity is probably pansexual, because I just love everyone. I think everyone's so beautiful. I've got to know a lot of really special people. I never go up to anyone and say, "Hi, I'm Kira and I'm gender fluid," but I think that's probably a very close term to what I feel. I wear a lot of men's clothes, and I love wearing caps. Like I've grown up with a tomboy side, but I also love dressing up and doing the makeup and wearing pretty dresses and sparkling. I fucking love sparkles, and I love unicorns, and I love, you know, the really pretty, elegant side. I don't feel I need to, you know, justify and say I'm this or I'm that. If I write it down on a piece of paper, I'm she, her. I am a beautiful woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I'm a beautiful woman. I like to dress in men's clothes. Like, I don't care. It doesn't really, you know, matter to me. You know, I had to justify so much and say all these things for my family, you know, like, but now to me, I'm just me, not just me. I am me, and I'm enough, and I'm free today. Like that's the most important thing for me, is that I'm free of the labels, I think. And I don't have to say, hey, I'm this or I'm that. I try and do that, I think, as less as possible for, I think, me mentally. I just want to be. I just want to be. And I love myself so much, and I've come to feel so comfortable in my skin and in my beauty, and so in touch with myself. I'm estranged from my family now. I feel really happy about that, because they have been so unsupportive in my life, and the last thing I want to do is be around unsupportive people. I'm very grateful for where I am and how far I've come. And, you know, if anyone doesn't like me for who I am, that's their loss. They don't need to be in my life, because I realise that I don't have anything to justify to anyone, because I'm a special, beautiful human being. I'm a special, beautiful human being, inside and out, no matter what I'm wearing, no matter my gender, no matter my sexuality, no matter who I'm kissing, no matter how many hands I'm holding. I am me. Thank you so much for letting me be a part of this project.